So like 10 minutes ago, we like rushed and like brought all our clothes in. We hung outside because it started to rain. Like look at that, look at that. We just like, I was running like crazy and it felt like I was getting pelted with ice. 10 minutes later, look at that. Such a joke. So we've been sick for like the past 2 weeks with like a really bad cold. So basically we've just been going to work.
Coming home and sleeping.
Yeah, all snotty and gross doing grocery
And it took
shopping.
a really long time to get over it fully. Because it's just different viruses here. So it's just
Yeah,
our
such
bodies.
a long time, like 2 weeks or so, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, we haven't been able to do much really. So but yeah, we'd just like to show you guys what it's like being here.
Yeah, what we kind of do every day, where we go.
And how things work and things like that.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it, and
we'll see you later.
so another common thing here is this granny bag that everyone lugs around. That's because people just walk down to the shops and they don't really drive down to the shops. So it's really essential to actually just, yeah, have this granny bag. It was £10, it's pretty good. We lug it around, put our shopping in and stuff. So that's what a typical road sign looks like. They're not always on the ground. Some of them are up on the side of the houses or on the sidewalls. Very different compared to Australia. So typical houses in the UK look like this. They're next to each other, side by side. So a lot of houses like this, it's obviously 2 stories. But yeah, so the way the property market is here is that the owners of the house, they split the house into the upper and the lower level, and they normally rent the top or the bottom, and they make into a share house situation. So as you can see, a lot of the houses aren't too far from the actual road, like they don't have much of a driveway or anything like that. It's mainly just a small little fence, a little front area where you put your bins. And yeah, it's just basically the public footpath right in front of your door. Yeah, so every town or city here in the UK, they have a thing called a high street. It's basically like the focal point for businesses, especially for shops, you know, like grocery stores, independent stores, you know, things like that. They'll even have street stalls out on the road. You know, it's actually pretty cool that we have it here almost every day. So one of the best things they have are these trolleys with wheels. Look at that. Look how cool it is. But the best thing they have here, alcohol everywhere, like just off the shelf alcohol. How cool is it, eh? Let's say more alcohol off the shelf. So good. Look at that. It's off the shelf and have all these deals on them. Probably gonna become alcoholics when we get back. Alright, so the main mode of transport here in London, I would say, is public transport, like these double-deck buses that you see here. We've also got the tube line underground and also the overground train lines. We do also have a lot of cyclists and scooters that go through town just because you know, it is really busy. Alright, so this is the tube map of London. It is so scary and confusing the first time because, you know, as you can see, it's just basically spaghetti of colored lines everywhere, and it's so confusing at first, but they do simplify it for you. So as you can see here, there's a turnstile. This is where you tap your Go card or your Oyster card, and the orange and the yellow things, my bad. So you go through. Yeah, there's an overground line if you want to catch the overground, but we're trying to go underground. So as you can see at the bottom, it says Victoria Line. Can't really see it, but yeah, just travel down here. It's, you know, it's not that hard to get lost because there's signs everywhere. So there's signs everywhere. As you can see at the top, it says Victoria Line straight up or platform 1 overground. And at the moment, it is pretty busy because it's around, you know, afternoon time. Kids are just getting home, and some people finishing work early. So yeah, as you can see at the top, it just says Victoria Line down this way. So just follow it. Now with the escalators, there's actually a rule that you have to follow, and it's basically a law here. So if you're not running down the escalators, you gotta stick to the right or stand at the right where I'm standing.
and the left side is basically for people wanting to go down or wanting to go up as quickly as they can if they're running behind or whatever. So now that's like, you know, that's a golden rule here. You got to do that, otherwise you get slaughtered. So it is pretty busy here at the moment. A train just arrived, so this is what it looks like. You know, it's pretty cool. Hey, basically, you know, you just hop on and hop off, and you want to. We're at the end of a train line. We're at the end of the Victoria line, so you know, we're an important stop, and the train basically stays for a while, which is pretty cool and gives us some time. So on either side of the platforms they go to the same direction, so we're pretty lucky, because if we miss one on the left side, we can just quickly go on the right side. Yeah, so basically if you miss one, it's only a couple of minutes until the next one, so I'm not sure if you can read it, but it's like, you know, it says 1 minute till the next one, and if you miss that one, it's 4 minutes for the next one. Really isn't that far, but this is what it looks like when people come, you know, get off the train. It's not, you know, like I was saying, it's not really that busy, but compared to, you know, back home, this is, you know, it's a lot of people, I would say. Yeah, this is pretty quiet. So, you know, it's no one's shoving or pushing, no one's jumping on trains. It's what people do. If there's a small space where you can stand, you'll be right. Alright, so as you can see here, this is basically the Victoria line in a simplified version. So at the top, highlighted, it's Walthamstow Central. You know, obviously it means that we're here. All the way down to the bottom is Brixton. Now, the way people get around London through the tube line is from jumping from one train line to another train line. And, you know, so as you can see here, you know, you can see the stops, and on the right side, these colored rectangle boxes things, they basically represent the train line. So, for example, as you can see at the top, sky blue means Victoria line, and you have all the other colored ones. So, for example, dark blue is Piccadilly, grey one is Jubilee, sorry, and you know, there's also the District line, Bakerloo, Northern line. Yeah, so you also have those the National Rail line, which is represented by the red little circle with things to the right. So yeah, so you just follow that. So for example, here at Finsbury Park, next to it, you can see the little red symbol and a dark blue line, which represents the Piccadilly line, and the little red things represent the National Rail line. So, you know, if you get off at Finsbury Park, you can connect to those train lines from there. Now, for example, King's Cross St. Pancras, I always say Pancreas. So King's Cross St. Pancras has a lot of lines available, so that's really busy, because, you know, people get off there from all the train lines and to catch another. Just hectic during work time. Yeah, so that's basically it.
So there's this place called Pret a Manger.
I was like Pret a Manager, but there's no A.
There's no A. But basically, like, I think it's like a 7-Eleven in the fact that there's so many of them, like in every corner. Like, you know, we walked down the street and there was like 5 Prets at each side of the road. In one, like, you know, like in like 200 meters, which is pretty crazy. But like,
good coffee, good food, so
yeah,
that's good.
So basically it's like 7-Eleven in a way that there's, you know, there's a billion of them. But it's kind of just like, how would you describe it? Like as a Raffles at home, hey?
Yeah.
So like they sell coffee.
It's a coffee club. Oh, not a coffee club.
No, not a coffee club, but they sell, you know, they basically coffee sandwiches, hot sandwiches.
Sandwiches are a thing here. Everywhere sells sandwiches for lunch, which is awful because I don't like sandwiches.
Yeah. But basically, yeah, they're everywhere.
We don't know quite how to pronounce it, but apparently Mali or Malays
or whatever. You know, like they sell like Dijon mustard at home, but they actually have their own standalone store here, and it's
like, it's big, it's fancy. Actually, we should go to that window and show them the little like fountains of it. They have it like a beer tap but for mustard.
Do they?
Yeah, they do. Open that window.
So this is a store in the corner. Very fancy. We'll show you the fountain of mustard apparently. So in there, behind the guy, it's like mustard on tap.
Yeah, mustard on tap.
Very cool. So look what we found. We found a Pret on that side. And just go across, right between the tower and the fountain. Oh, surprise! A Pret. Beautiful sunset,
Slow
afternoon.
sunset in the afternoon. Just kidding, it's 7 o'clock at night.
7 p.m. and look at it.
It's still so bright and sunny. That's London Eye, by the way. And that big palace looking place is Shrek's Adventure.
I don't know, man. 7 p.m. Sun's still out.